Photography, the technique of recording the image of a certain area at a certain moment in time. The first photographic negative produced by a camera is believed to have been made by the French chemist Joseph M. Niepce around 1816. Niepce would have been delighted to know that Flip Schulke took this art form and used it as a social tool for justice. In the 1950s, the black press had a hard time photographing stories in the South. Schulke tells of the early days of working for John H. Johnson of Ebony magazine.
I had been doing a lot of work for Ebony in the South.
The legend of Dr. King's nonviolent movement has become a primary component in world peace.
The same thing happened in East Berlin, and that's what brought the wall down. It wasn't Reagan. I went there and physically saw Dr. King's books translated into German, and they had translated the marching songs, you know, We Shall Overcome especially. And here you have a few thousand East Germans marching in East Berlin singing these songs. I mean, I get goosebumps talking about it, but you can imagine what it was like there.
Like a photograph, the civil rights movement had negative and positive images. This photojournalist, Flip Schulke, exposed the world by freezing time on the 11,000 images he took of the civil rights struggle. Thank you, Flip.
He believed very firmly in God, but he had still reasoned that pie in the sky is great, but why can't we have pie in the sky on Earth? Always talking about that, you know, you work real hard and get beat all up and you're just going to have a great time in heaven. Fine, but why not have a nice time on Earth and a nice time in heaven? But that first night, I knew I'd met a great man, and he was young. You got to realize we're basically the same age. And I say today, I say it every time I talk, and I may not be around because the way historians are, it takes a while, but I'll bet you by 2020, when they look back at the 20th century, that worldwide he's going to be put down as the greatest philosopher of the 20th century. Because nobody now, when I talk to academics, they can't name me a philosopher who has a more complex and complete philosophy for how human beings can get along than Dr. King did. You know, the way he talked, and it's hard for me to talk about this because then I start getting weepy. I miss him.